And extend your field of love for all of the beings sitting here in the sanctuary and all of the beings that are streaming in from around the globe. Just extend that heart space and allow all of these beings, for you to be aware that all of these beings are in your field, that your field is infinite, and that you're not merely in your body is in your field, and this sanctuary is in your field, and these beings are in your field, and you're activating a sense of love and peace and harmony and wellness. So just give that away right now, unencumbedly. In your awareness, just give away all of this love and extend the love. Let one person stand in proxy for all of these beings here this morning, and that one person is sitting right next to you. Look at that being. Say to that being, out of 7.5 billion people, I get to sit next to you. I'm sitting next to you. And this is not accidental. We have something to say to each other. There's brilliance in you. There's infinite potential in you. There's divine joy in you. Creative intelligence is in you. Divine power is in you. Infinite wealth is within you. And you have come to set it free and to make a mighty difference on this planet at this time in human history and beyond. Let's be this. Then let's do this in the here and now together. And so it is. Amen. Touch and agree, high five, handshake, hug, whatever the feeling tone is. Go a little bit outside of your comfort zone. No dating, just meeting. And be aware, as we love to do this at the beginning of our service, that we are amplifying the field that has been co-created by the practitioners, the musicians, and all of you, a field that is full to overflowing with an intelligence and a beauty and a love, sacred qualities of the divine that are everywhere in their fullness, always generating, always being themselves. And the beautiful thing about infinite mind and the beautiful thing about these sacred qualities is that as you access these qualities and as you allow these qualities to flow through you, you do not diminish them in any way, shape, or form. You do not diminish and you do not add to. And so this breaks us free from any limited thought of scarcity, lack, limitation, immature competition, that as you can, everyone at the same time can call upon the Lord, the great law of life. Everyone at the same time can open themselves up to the field of infinite potential, and it will not drain, not one iota, this dynamic presence that is everywhere. Now, as you catch that in your prayer and in your meditation, that becomes real to you, then all thought of lack and separation and competition and jealousy and envy dissolves, because you will no longer feel within your soul that if something good is happening over there, that means that there's less good happening where you are. People really think like that. It's called insanity. It's craziness. But as you are praying and as you are meditating, not to get anything from God, but to be receptive to that which is always expressing itself, then incrementally and dramatically, you begin to be aware that you cannot in any way drain the infinite. And everyone at the same time could call upon the great God of the universe for divine support, can be receptive, and it doesn't take away from anything, anywhere. This is a great truth that you come to know when you meditate and when you pray. So then you can check yourself before you wreck yourself. You can check yourself. Whenever you're feeling that good is happening over there, it's not happening when you are, and oh, poor you, you can check yourself and realize at that moment you've fallen prey to the misuse of your imagination, and that you are not in integrity with your soul at that moment. And you can begin to come back to a degree of balance and harmony and wholeness. And as you're doing that, at that moment, you are choosing to make your future self happy. And that is this self, this real self, this authentic self, this Christed self, this Buddhic field that wants to come into full bloom as you. It comes into full bloom as you by your moment choices, choosing the high vibration, moment by moment to the best of your ability. Then that which you would call your future self, which is your Christed self, your real nature, becomes happy because it gets to come into its own as your very life. You come to an awareness, as we have been teaching here, that there's a difference between choice and decision. They don't mean the same thing. Decision making is really good. Decision means that you're cutting away. It's decide, incisive. It means that you're cutting away obstacles. You're cutting away hindrances. You're shifting priorities. You're eliminating the hindrances of your mind and your habits so that you can begin to see clearly. That's from the valley. That's in circumstances. That's in situations. You're making decisions moment by moment. And then there's choice. Choice is a function of ever-expanding awareness. Choice comes from the mountaintop. Choice is when you've meditated, you've prayed, you've expanded your awareness, and you're seeing life from a higher purview, and you're choosing the presence, and you're choosing love, and you're choosing peace, and you're choosing well-being, you're choosing these sacred qualities, even if you don't know how you're going to be prompted to manifest them. Your choice is from an expanded place. You are today choosing to make your future self happy by moment decisions, cutting away that which doesn't work, and standing on the precipice of the nowness of this moment through prayer and affirmation and meditation so that you can see the beauty and the love and the joy and the harmony that is everywhere. This self, this higher self, it is not defined by experience. Now, this point is very important, and I know oftentimes I get the feedback that I love agape. The first time I came, I didn't understand a word that man was talking about. It took me a couple of months and a few classes. But I can't step it down, but I'll break it down, okay? and so this real self is not defined by experience. Your limited self, the small self, is defined by experience. In other words, if someone asks you who you are, you may start recounting all of the experiences that you've had in life. You were born at this time, you had this many people in your family, you went to this school, you did this happened to you, etc., etc., etc. And that forms the perception of the small self. Now, your real self is not defined by experience at all. It is eternal. It is forever. It is unbounded. It is unrestricted. It is unlimited. It is free. It is who and what you really are. Your future self, your authentic self. Now, that which is unbounded by experience wants to be integrated into who and what you think you are at this moment. So you start to walk more and more in your unbounded, unrestricted self, your timeless, ageless self, as you have a human incarnation. So that, yes, you'll have experiences. Yes, there will be wonderful things that you get to participate in the human incarnation. But you're not defined by those things, nor are you limited by those things, nor do those things detract you, because the future self, the higher self, is integrated into your awareness. This is your moment of why you are praying, so that which is unadulterated, that which is pure, that which is not bound by time, that which never had a birth and will never die, the eternal you begin to be more aware of that this is your real identity. And from that particular space, you have the capacity to recall and remember what you need to know as you're walking through the valley experience in human incarnation. You get to recall it because it's already in you in a non-dimensional, eternal way. Everything you would want, hope for, and desire, and everything you need to know, it's already within you. As you are a multi-dimensional, eternal presence that carries everything that God is, this is all in you. You start to recall it as you need it. This is different from memory, which is a function of the brain. A recall is a function of the soul. And so when you are identified with your higher self through your spiritual technologies, you start to recall things that you did not even have an experience of getting that information. Suddenly you know what you need to know without any process of reasoning. This is recollection on the soul level. Now you can walk on the planet, but you're being fueled and funded and inspired by your higher self, the presence of God in the midst of you. Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Are you catching this? So you want to make your future self happy, and so you make decisions. I'm going to decide to pray right now. I'm going to decide not to do A. I'm going to sit for an extra moment. I'm deciding I'm going to cut out something, and I'm going to read maybe just 2 paragraphs of this highly inspired book. Or I'm going to cut out sugar for a while. I'm going to cut out dairy for a while. I'm going to cut out being lazy for a while and exercise the body tempo. I'm going to make decisions, and then in a moment of meditation, you're lifted, and now you're entering to the realm of choice. Choice is a function of expanded consciousness. Remember, without choice, there's limited perception, and you react to circumstance. You react to what people are saying. You react to the news. You react rather than choice. Choice is a function of awareness. So you are here to wake up, come out of the intoxicated sleep, and to have a wonderful, great entry into graceful lessons. An entry into graceful lessons. What do I mean by this? When you chose your human incarnation, you didn't choose it. You chose to be here. As I've taught over the years, this is not an accident that you are here. As I've said, my tongue got in front of my eye tooth. I couldn't see a word I was saying. So it just messed up a little bit. So you chose to be here. So don't think that you are here primarily because your parents got together. You may have orchestrated that. You may have been a part of that quantum soup of the past, the present, and the future happening simultaneously, and you put a gleam in their eyes and said, I need your particular DNA. You may not stay together, but I need you right now so I can come through. You see? Or a combination of both. You see? But the point is, you chose to be here. And you saw an outline of your life. You saw the possibilities of the gifts given, and you saw the possibility of the lessons you would learn. All of that was there. I am entering into the human dimension because I want to learn this lesson, and I want to give this gift. I want to activate my talents and capacities and share them so that the newest sphere of the planet will be saturated with the high frequency, and the unfoldment and evolution of my soul and the unfoldment and evolution of the group soul will be inspired by the insights and the revelations that I'm having, the gifts I'm giving, and the lessons that I'm learning. Now you want to enter into graceful lessons rather than difficult lessons. Now you have already decided the lessons you learned, but you're now choosing to learn them gracefully. How you learn them gracefully is that you lift your vibration and you begin to dissolve fear and worry and doubt and the projection of worst-case scenarios into the future, and you open yourself up to growth and unfoldment, but not with fear, not with doubt, not with worry. And those lessons will come to you and become ultimate blessings in your life, and you'll grow more gracefully. Now, you can learn those same lessons in a difficult way. All you have to do is add to the mixture fear. Add to the mixture separation. Add to the mixture doubt. You'll learn the exact same lessons, but they'll be more difficult for you. And you might think, oh my God, the universe is picking on me. Why is this happening to me again? And all you have to do is trace back, and you will see a seed of fear, a seed of worry that has set in motion the learning of a lesson, but the learning of a lesson in a difficult way rather than in a graceful way. And so when you wake up in the morning, you establish yourself in your oneness with the presence of God, your oneness of gratitude, your oneness of beauty and joy, and you check yourself to see if you're being pushed by fear into the world, you're nervous, there's anxiety, there's worry. Stop! Do not take another step. If you're being pushed by anxiety and anxiousness and fear, you stop. And you begin to come back to yourself. What am I afraid of? I'm in league with the infinite. As I draw upon the infinite, as it moves through me, there's no loss or lack in the infinite. It doesn't draw from anyone else. I can experience and I can realize as much as I want. I can stop in this moment and feel with a dynamic faith and a dynamic love. Remember, not based on circumstances and experiences and situations, because the future self is not bound by experience nor defined by it. You're tapping into your future self, your higher self, and then you begin to eradicate the fear, and then you walk into the world saying, I'm available for my lesson today. I'm available to give my gifts today. I'm available to learn what I need to learn today. And it doesn't have to be difficult because I am eliminating the ingredient of fear and anxiety. You don't just rush out of your house all nervous. Oh my God, I gotta go! It's gonna be a difficult day. Oh! No. You determine the gracefulness of the lessons you'll learn by the vibration and the frequencies that you are emitting. Be aware that your mind has been taught to see the world in a certain way. You don't really see what's going on. You see what you've been taught. You see how you've been hypnotized. And so when you look out upon the world, you see all manner of things that are going on, but you don't see what's behind the manifestation of all this nastiness that's happening. You don't see at times the beauty and the love and the harmony and the life that's untouched by what you're seeing. And so you have to regulate your mind. You have to say, I'm standing in truth, and I see only truth today. I'm standing in truth, capital T truth, not facts. I'm standing in truth, and that's all that I see is dynamic truth. So you start to re-engineer your imagination. You start to train the mind differently to see that which is true. What's true? Omnipresence. What's true? Omnipotence. Omniscience. What's true? Beauty, love, intelligence, harmony, well-being. That's what's true. I see only that which is true. And then the virus of the mind that causes you to see separation will begin to fight and begin to try to hold on to that perception and all of the undergirding defense mechanisms that you have developed to have that perception and survive in the world of your own creation with a dynamic group agreement about it that lends itself to greed, avarice, hate, bigotry, racism, homophobia, not enoughness, that particular world that's been created by the misuse of the imagination with an injection of fear and doubt and worry. You begin to see through that world. You see through that world. Your mind begins to be taught differently. This is what we go through when we're training practitioners here. And it takes a period of time to grab the mind back from the world of experience and the things that have happened to us on an experiential level, and to see the world from that experiential dimension, and to have many little breakthroughs into, oh my God, there's a part of me that's never been hurt. Oh my God, there's a part of me that's always been alive. Oh my God, there's a part of me that will never die. Oh my God, until the mind starts to shape itself around that love and that law, and then a practitioner of truth is born. Not merely a licensed individual, but a practitioner of truth is born, where the mind starts to see and look for the truth, you see. And now you can wake up and have the technology to go forth in your day without anxiety, without worry. You don't deny that it's there, but you don't let it run the show. You don't just go get a whole bunch of prescriptions of drugs to just get rid of it, because it's still there on a mental level. On a thought form level, you may have smoked and drank and done whatever you needed to do to not feel it, but it's still working there. You see, you want to uncover it. You want to stop and you want to look at the fear. And you want to work your way back. What am I afraid of? Loss. Well, there's never no loss in the universe. You want to work your way back, and you find the lie that you're telling yourself. It's not enough good to go around. You find the lie that you're telling yourself, and begin to say, I'm standing in, and I'm seeing the truth. The mind starts to operate. Now, without any dissolution or lack that comes from you being you, you find your gifted area and you begin to share it, knowing that as you're sharing this cosmic energy, it's not taking away from anyone. You find your place in this world. You find your place in this world that your mind has trained you to see, while you're beginning to see the other world. You're beginning to see what the future self sees. You're beginning to see the next stage of human evolution. And so, a condensate, let me just say this, that in the quantum reality, well, the Newtonian reality, there's a statement that says two things cannot occupy the same space and time. It's an impossibility. But in quantum reality, they can, because they're vibrating on different frequencies and in different dimensions. So you can have two things in the same space at the same time, but at different frequencies. So what happens is, you do your work, and you start to see the world as it appears to be. At the same time, you start to see the world that God sees. Same time, same space. But you're seeing the real world, new heaven and new earth, while you're walking through the transitory world, and your frequency is lifting the physicality of the old world into a higher frequency. You're not getting rid of it. It's being lifted by your vibration into the new heaven and the new earth. So that as tens of hundreds and thousands of individuals start to become still enough and prayerful enough and meditative enough and celebratory enough and are allowing the sacred chant, the sacred dance, not to rush, the sacred dance, the sacred prayer to take over their life. They walk and talk from the truth. And the lessons that are learned happen more gracefully rather than in difficulty. Hear this again. Everyone has to learn lessons. Everyone is available for greater blessings. Only thing you're determining is whether they're going to happen with difficulty or whether they're going to happen with grace. Yes. Entry into the graceful way is to not add the ingredient of fear, hate, separation. Even when we're working in the world and there are forces of negativity, forces of misogyny, forces of racism, forces of bigotry in the world, even with that, we're rising and doing what we're called to do. But in a field of a dynamic love that's more powerful than any force in creation. The field of infinite peace, more powerful than any transitory thought form. Yeah. So now you can stand. And on an individual level, you can say, I'm standing in truth and I see truth. On an individual level, you can begin to dissolve the fear or take it with you as it transmutes itself into excitement and enthusiasm, as you're keeping an eye on it? You're keeping an eye on it. I see you, fear. You think you're just going to take over? Oh, no. I got an eye on you. And the fact that I'm watching you means you're already transmuting because I'm aware of you, and my awareness is speeding up the frequency and the vibration. So now I'm walking in the world. I'm seeing the two worlds. I'm vibrating at the higher world. The other world starts to lift its vibration. It can't help it. Remember, I've been using the phrase spiritual radioactive. You can't close the door and keep radioactivity away from you. The same way spiritually. No one can close anything against the spiritual radioactivity of a dynamic peace and the love and a creativity and a joy that's emanating from your being. As Dr. Thurman likes to remind us, it will get through their head and heart and eventually touch that place within them that vibrates at the higher frequency. Beginning with you first. So let me break it down for you. There's the future self. That's the metaphor we're using this month. Past, the present, and the future are happening simultaneously. You expand your awareness, and you see the past and the present and the future all happening right now. The future self, the self of the absolute, the self that's untouched by time, it wants to bloom in you. It wants to be conscious of its own life as your life. You see, you're giving permission for that to occur as you enter into spiritual technology, prayer, meditation, a conscious celebration, chant, dance consciously. You're entering into the raising of the vibration. And then you begin to remember that you chose to be here, you chose gifts that you were going to actualize, and you chose lessons you were going to learn. And then you get to choose grace, difficulty. Grace, difficulty. I'm choosing grace. I'm dissolving the fear and the worry. I find my mind going back to the lie that the fear is telling me. I keep my eye on it. Through the spiritual observation effect, everything I observe changes on the subatomic level because I'm looking at it. But I'm looking at it with the awareness that I'm one with God. And so everything speeds up. I'm trying to give you something here. I'm trying to give you an awareness that you're not a victim to circumstance. You're not a victim to time. You're not a victim to situations. You're not a victim to anything. You have a victorious, triumphant spirit. And it is seeking to come into its own as you so that you're identifying yourself as a timeless being while you're walking through time. Not just identifying yourself with experience, but now identifying yourself with the timeless. I am what thou art what I am. Before Abraham was, I am. You're standing in awareness of this absolute sacred truth. I am that. I am. I am. And all the places that can't hold that frequency starts to unravel. And it'll make you a little nervous. It'll make you a little, oh, what's happening? I'm going crazy. I'm melting. But what's melting is that which has been formed by time and experience. And that which remains is that which is eternal. And the creativity and the generosity, the compassion, the kindness, the love, the joy starts to flow through you, and it's not personal. It becomes what you are. What you are. I'm thinking about a scene in a movie you're all going to see because I'm telling you to go see it. A scene in the Collateral Beauty in which the Edward Norton character is talking about the first time that he held his daughter, and he goes on to describe that at that moment, he didn't just love his daughter, he became love. At a certain point, you don't just love, you become the love. You become the peace. You become the joy. You become the energy of celebration. You become the beauty. I am that. I am that. I am that. Make your future self happy. So all you have to do is think this. If I eat this, my future self's going to be pissed off. It's going to have a gut. It's going to have premature wrinkles. It's going to have cavities. It's going to be mad at me. I'm going to make my future self happy. I'm going to eat some broccoli. I'm going to eat some collard greens. I'm going to eat some squash and some apples and organic. And to the best of my ability, I'm going to drink some shakes. I'm going to get up and move my body on a regular basis. I'm going to make my future self happy because I'm going to get still from time to time on a regular, consistent basis and feel into the dynamic of the goodness that's trying to happen through me. Now, one more point here. This is very important. You're all available to moment-by-moment revelation of the Spirit. This is very important. Just as you're surrounded by love, you're surrounded by beauty, you're surrounded by abundance, you're surrounded by wealth, you're surrounded by harmony, because it's everywhere, you're surrounded by an intelligence that wants to reveal itself through you. Now, why is this important? Because we have been taught that revelation only happens to special people. The prophets of old got a revelation, and that only happens back then and to a few people now. Not so. You're surrounded by it. The only thing that separates you from someone who had a revelation around science or spirituality or music or whatever is that they're listening. And they're catching it. You want to be a modern day prophet of your own life, and you want to prophesy every single day. This is going to be the best day of my life. I've got a revelation happening. God is everywhere. So therefore, you're not putting all the goodies into those that we've come to love over the years, because they didn't take it all. Because you can't diminish infinite mind. So because someone came into cosmic consciousness, they didn't take it all. We're surrounded by it. I want you to get your portion. And what is your portion? All of it! All of it! All of it! Right where you are. Say it with me now. I got all of it. I've got all the peace. I've got all the joy. I've got all the love. I've got all the abundance. I've got all the prosperity. I am success itself. No one is deprived because I'm successful. And because I'm successful, I help everyone rise to success. That's how it works. Deep breath. Release. We turn within in this moment and we enter into the dynamic spiritual technology of affirmative prayer. That is, though we can ask for help, we do not beg or beseech. I want you to be very still, and I want you to have a moment where you catch that you're at the very center of the universe. Because the center of the universe and the center of the mind of God is everywhere. Where? Everywhere. The center is everywhere. And so we're at its center now. And what's bubbling up? Such gratitude. Such thanksgiving. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I'm at the center of the mind of God. I'm so grateful. I'm at the center of the universe. I'm so grateful. I'm at the center of peace. I'm so grateful. I'm at the center of love and joy. I'm so grateful. I'm at the center of a cosmic celebration that wants to localize itself as my life. I'm so grateful that I begin to see differently now. Through the vibration of gratitude, I begin to see differently. I begin to see differently. I begin to see. Not how the mind has been taught by this world. But I begin to see through the re-engineering of my imagination and my heart space opening up. God is everywhere. As you notice, the sacred order of the practitioners are rising up for this occasion and holding a prayer field. If you are a practitioner, you're standing up now and taking a vibrational stand for this sacred truth to be active in everyone here. And so with this sense of right seeing, there comes the dynamic of right being. I am what thou art what I am. There is no separation, there is no distance, there is no otherness, there is only one. And the word that is being spoken emanates from this awareness of oneness. The word is spoken. That divine and compelling right action takes place in every area of our lives. The word is spoken. Divine health, well-being, vitality, vigor, regeneration, renewal, resurrection is now the order of the day for all of us. For everyone streaming in from around the globe and everyone in this room, as I am, the I am, as I am is lifted up. As I am is lifted up, it draws everyone into that frequency. Come, Holy Spirit. Come, divine presence. We enter into this space as the word is spoken that divine health and well-being reign supreme. Divine and harmonizing prosperity and success is the order of our day. Clarity reigns supreme in the mental body. Purity reigns supreme in the emotional body. Strength reigns supreme in the physical body. Divine order reigns supreme in the body of our affairs. For we are undaunted by time but pulled by eternity. And we have the feeling now. Oh, it's okay to have this feeling. We have this feeling that everything's all right. We have the feeling that everything's going to be all right. We had the feeling that everything is working together for our good because that feeling becomes our personal law. So you don't have to wait till everything is all right physically to feel that everything is all right. No, that's putting the cart before the horse. You feel it first. And so we feel, everything's all right. Everything's going to be all right. I know there's messiness in the world of effects. I know there's greed and avarice, stealing. I know. We rise. We invite our lessons without fear. We invite the generating and the giving of our blessings in joy to make a mighty difference. It's making a mighty difference in Standing Rock. It's making a mighty difference all over the world where individuals have forgotten their real identity. Is making a difference. Right now, this group of people in this sanctuary and those that are streaming are making a difference on this planet. I feel it. Ricky.
God of my spirit, supreme inspiration, God of my heart, I take refuge in your great love. Creator and ultimate wisdom, may all be blessed under me, all find the way
found our way into the vibration of divine love. We find our way to infuse this prayer with this divine love for these individuals who have called our prayer ministry and who are working with our One from the Heart teams. Continue to hold beloved Peggy Zimmerman in our prayer field right now, knowing that where she is, the presence of God is. Anna Lopez is saturated by the prayer field. Reverend Joan Stedman, saturated with the prayer field right now. Divine mending, divine healing, divine regeneration is the order of the day where Reverend Joan Stedman is concerned. We invite these individuals, we invite ourselves and these practitioners to hold these individuals in prayer. The Reverend Diane Hogan, Peter, Lorena, and family, as Max shuffled off the mortal coil. It's what some would say a very young age, but we're timeless and ageless. We bless Max in his ongoingness. Melanie Gordon, our go-go in the choir, great servant of light. Her daughter, Nikki, shuffled off the mortal coil. Right where Nikki is, there's an unfolding of her life, and where Gogo is and her husband and Nikki's children, there's a peace that passes human understanding taken over right now. This is true for Robin Barrow, for Eugenia Douglas, Elisa and Taylor, for Father John Lee, for all of us embracing CJ Felton Rose. Right where CJ is, oh, such a glow of love and life. We bless her son and everyone that's behind to mourn her with the dynamic peace and the celebrative spirit where she's concerned. And we embrace Lee Brown as her cousin Beverly shuffled off the mortal coil just the other day, and then very next day Jacqueline Brown, her cousin Kurt Hurley, shuffled off the mortal coil. So we embrace these individuals with a dynamic peace that passes human understanding. And if you are holding anyone in prayer, just say their name out loud. And I want you to consider yourself for a moment. I want you to consider yourself surrounded by divine love. Say your name out loud and say, I'm filled with peace. I'm divinely successful. And I'm receptive to more blessings than I've ever imagined. For this and more than words could ever say or convey, we give thanks and we let it be, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Ashe. Shalom. Salam. Aho. Hallelujah. So be it.